Hey there, Munchie Mafia. Happy New Year. It's 2025 somewhere, right? So tonight we're going to be making some salmon with a cream sauce and ravioli with truffle and cheese. So let's get to it. Okay, so for Christmas, one of the things that I really wanted, that I desperately needed, was a new meat cleaver. And this is the Dalstrong Phantom series. And these things are gorgeous. These things are just absolutely gorgeous. And it comes with a whole bunch of stuff. It comes with a pen and thing, a sticker, a bunch of stuff. But one of the things that I love so much is that they come with these really cool sheaths. I mean, this thing is like, you're not going to cut yourself. So you just lift the little pin out, and there we have it. Yeah, and this is the Phantom series. It has a nice handle to it. It's nice and smooth. Um, I'm really looking forward to this. It also has a little bit of a curve right here, so you can really pull up on that. So I'm happy, thrilled to death. Um, it's one of the things I love so much about Dalstrong is that they include these sheaths for just about every freaking knife that they sell. Unlike some of the other ones, I remember back in the day when Mercer used to have some nice ones um, that came with their knives, but they don't do that anymore. I was a little disappointed, so I had to go and buy a whole new set for a new set of knives that I picked up because I needed a new set of knives for my new job because my knives have been tainted by pork, so um, I needed a whole new set of knives just so that I could be respectful of my new kitchen. Okay, so what we have here is I went to Costco and I wanted to do something easy because we're actually going to be doing another cook tomorrow. We got pork tenderloin tomorrow. These smell really good. I hope they're not too overly truffly. They're truffle and cheese raviolis. They come in a 2-pack, and for the two of us, because we stay home for the holidays, um, this is just plenty for us. And then I also have over here on our board um, two two pieces of salmon for each of us, and then some little pieces to tie the room together. So here's our little pieces to tie the room together right there, and then our ravioli. And we have all of our stuff in our kit. We have um, let's pull this over here so it's easier to see. Um, so if we want to pull up the top upstairs camera, let's see. Can we see that? Not quite. Okay, so let's turn around. Still trying to figure out the angles on this. So
You're still missing it.
I'm still missing. Okay, go back to this camera. To heck with it. Okay, so we've got oyster mushrooms, portobello, some brunoise of sweet onion, some of that beautiful smoked garlic, butter, and some grape tomatoes in various different colors. Then we also have our capers and lemon, salt, Italian herbs, some cheese. I forgot to grab my cream. Come here, cream. Oops, can't get it. There's a ring light in my way. Forgot to grab that. Oh my god. All right. Some cream. All right. And heavy cream. We're also going to hit this with some wine. But let's take a look and see who we all have here.
Teresa's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, Teresa, happy birthday, belated birthday. I'm sorry that we missed you. Happy birthday and best wishes. Let's see here. Who else do we have? Greg. We've got Greg, and we have Help Grow Food. Hello and Happy New Year. So glad to see you all. All right, so let's get started with what are we going to do first? We are going to saute our onions first. So we're going to pop on over here. We already have our water going. We're going to need extra virgin olive oil. Just set that right there for right now. Going to need pepper. Going to need this. And tomorrow I'm going to show you what else I got for Christmas. I got a really cool knife sharpener. Ooh, that makes a nice noise. Ooh, spanky, spanky. Got a really cool knife sharpener. So I'm going to see if I can get my really super expensive set of knives over here sharpened, and we're gonna try it out with those, because those knives are just driving me absolutely nuts. It's $600 worth of knives that just sits there and looks pretty for the most part. They came out of the box dull, and so this is half of a Brunoise onion. We're just going to kind of spread that out and let it get fat and sassy for a little while. I do need paper towels. I'm out of paper towels. Do we have any more?
I can fix that.
You can fix that. Yay. My poor little cast iron here has seen some better days. We had an oven fire not too long ago, and it kind of got a little scarred. So we got some noise happening in the pan. Here. Thank you, paper towels. So what does everybody have planned for New Year's Day? We're going to go visit family, sleep in, nurse off the hangover, just kind of hang out, family. What y'all doing? I know what we're doing. We're doing a hell of a lot of nothing. We are, however, going to be doing up a really nice brunch tomorrow. It's always been a New Year's Day sort of thing for all of us. Hey, Dwinzel. Welcome. So we got all sorts of stuff going on tomorrow. Might as well preheat this. We'll run a little burner. So, let's go back to our onions here for a moment. And we always do these sort of things in stages because we want to build layers of flavor. These onions are sweet onions, so they're going to start releasing their sugars fairly soon. And we're going to get a really nice fond at the bottom of the pan. And that fond we're going to deglaze with some wine to help to release it back into the food because that's where all the magic happens, right? Now, when it comes to taking care of mushrooms and adding stuff, you always want to add your garlic toward the finish there because you don't want it to burn or else you end up throwing everything away. I know you guys hear me say that all the time. Nothing quite says kiss my ass like the smell of burnt garlic. It's like it just smells up the house and it's a whole lot of ick, you know? It's like nobody wants to smell that nonsense. So that's when we start seeing these onions start to turn a color other than stark white. They'll start to go translucent first. Then we will be adding the least delicate of the two mushrooms, and that's going to be the portobello. And then after that, we're going to add the oyster mushrooms. Now, if you can't find oyster mushrooms or you just don't like mushrooms, you just don't have to add them, you know. You can add something else if you want. You could put like zucchini or something in there, something else. But I love mushrooms. Mushrooms are like my favorite thing in the world. There's this really awesome cookbook. It's just a cookbook that's just dedicated to cooking mushrooms. That was on my wish list. It's one of those things where, can it get here in time? No, it could not. So now we're starting to see some color on these. They're starting to get a little translucent. They're starting to turn very blonde, pale blonde color to them. So about this time, we can keep moving these around. And we're going to start adding these mushrooms. And somebody was asking me the other day, where do you get that case that you usually find behind the bar? This case that I've got all my little thingies in. I actually got this off of Temu for like dirt cheap. And this thing I got for like real cheap. It comes with the little containers. You can throw a little bit of ice under there. It helps to keep your mise en place in place. And whatever you don't use, you can always just pitch it into the cooler, case and all. You don't have to worry so much about it. So, what we want to do is we want to get a little bit of color to these mushrooms. We got this on medium high heat. But this is a coil burner, so if you have natural gas or propane on, you might want to just turn that down just a little smidge. All right, so as you can see, the pan is starting to get some color to the bottom of it, and it's the fond that's starting to develop. So we're just going to keep moving this around a little bit at a time. You can really start to smell that umami to it. We're going to start adding our oyster mushrooms next. Now, oyster mushrooms, everybody keeps saying, oh yeah, they taste like oysters. No, they don't really taste like oysters. I mean, you get a faint hint of it, but the nice thing about it is that they hold their texture really nicely. They're very easy to grow too. You can get one of those mushroom kits, and basically it's a a box with substrate in it, and you just follow the instructions. You can have that thing just blooming with oyster mushrooms in no time. And now you can kind of smell that oyster scent to it, but they really don't taste like it. I mean, yeah, if you saute them nice, you can really get kind of an oyster scent to it, which I think complements salmon very nicely. So we're just gonna add just a little smidge more oil to help move these around a little bit more. And one of the things about mushrooms is they have a tendency to shrink a little bit. So, what looked like it was a whole hell of a lot earlier really isn't a whole hell of a lot after all is said and done. All right, so take a look and see who else is here. We still have Wenzel and Teresa and Greg. And Timmy. At least those are the ones that have spoken up. Looks like there's some lurkers. All right. Now, here we have a whole bulb of that smoked garlic that I made over the summer. And for those that have not caught that episode, it's one of the smoker videos that I've got from back in the summer. Had a whole bunch of random stuff in it. It looked like there was avocado in the smoker as well. Yes, you can smoke avocados. I see we got Fond developing a really beautiful, beautiful mahogany color down there. This is about the time that you can add the garlic. You can add however much or however little you want. What I do with my garlic is I'll just take them whole bulbs and all. Won't trim them or anything. Just pitch them into the smoker when I'm doing a big smoke. Let them go for about an hour and a half. I'll just go get one of those 5-pound bags from like the U.S. Chef's Food Store or Costco or somewhere. I'll just do a whole bunch of them and then let them cool down and put them into Ziploc bags as whole bulbs of garlic. And they need to be double bagged into freezer bags because I noticed that everything smells like garlic now in my freezer. All right, so now I've got all sorts of different kinds of wines here. We got sherry, we got marsala, we got port. I'm actually going to go with sherry because I really, really, really enjoy a nice sherry cream sauce. So now we're going to deglaze that pan with the sherry. And yeah, there's a lot of steam happening here. And we're going to just start gently scraping and scraping and scraping. Actually, I think I want to add just a little smidge more. That really evaporated quickly. Okay. Get this mofo all nice and drunken. All right. So now all that fond at the bottom of the pan can very easily be just lifted up by just going and just giving it a very, very light scrapey scrape with a wooden utensil. And this is where the flavor and all the magic happens. Right there is that fond. So you definitely want that, and you definitely want to deglaze. Now, if you don't use wine, what you can use is fish stock or chicken stock or just water. It's up to you. I know some people don't do alcohol because of one reason or another. You can also use non-alcoholic wines. Just any kind of liquid, really. All right. So now we're going to just let that start to reduce a little bit on this spot right there. Let the magic happen right there. And we don't want to add salt to it just yet because we're going to put capers in it. Now, if you don't like capers, then you're going to want to add salt. Now, this is a salmon belly right here, and we're adding it to the sauce just so that we can tie the room together. Got to have a little bit of that flavor, that handshake from something similar in your sauce. To help tie it together with fish, because if you're going to just throw a cream sauce with fish, it might not make any sense. And they might fight. There could be a cage match in your kitchen. And we don't want that. So just going to give that a nice little saute.
Owls and cat.
Huh?
Owls and cat.
Hey, Al. Hey, everybody. If you haven't had a chance, go check out Al Lunacy. He's got some really gorgeous barbecue stuff going on his channel. All sorts of exciting stuff. Welcome and Happy New Year. All right, I'm going to just start dragging some of my other stuff over here. Okay, so now we want to add a little bit of this lemon juice. Whoops. This is half of a lemon. Because every dish requires just a little smidge of acid, but we're also going to throw that lemon right on in there. We're going to just let that do its thing for a moment. And we're going to take our capers, and we're going to throw our capers in there. Capers are very briny, okay? So people ask me, what the hell is a caper? Well, it's part of the rose family, or nasturtium family. And they're a little floral, but it's almost like having a pickle. So it's going to make you pucker a little bit, but it's going to add a different kind of flavor. You got the umami, you've got the acid, you've got a different kind of acid from the brine, from the capers, but also a little bit of a pepper. So now we're going to add some pepper. Oh my God. So I got a new set of salt and pepper grinders for Christmas, and I just haven't had a chance to get those filled up. That thing's on its last leg. And of course, just a little smidgen of nutmeg. And when I say smidgen, we're talking literally a pinch. Too much, and it'll just ruin the dish totally. And so now we got our little salmon belly chunks, all nice and fat and sassy with all the other flavors. And we're going to start throwing in some knobs of butter. I'm going to turn it down to a 3. Got my cast iron all nice and smoking over here. And the water is moving a little bit over in my pot. Now what this butter is going to do is it's going to slowly start to add to that mouthfeel. Now you could just, if you don't have heavy cream, but you've got a shit ton of butter, you can always just keep throwing knobs of butter at it and call it a day. But, you know, what we're going to do is, because we don't have a lot of expendable income, we're going to throw a little bit of heavy cream in there just to help it out. But we do want some of this butter in there. So there's the butter right there. We're just going to let it get all nice and emulsified a little bit. Now, one of the things I could not find at the grocery store was my fresh herbs. So we don't have any fresh herbs. I could get some chives, but then I'm going to be robbing Peter to pay Paul, because tomorrow's chives. But anyhow, there we go. There we have that. Now Butter blobs. Glob knobs, yes. They're just little chunks of yes, that skillet is smoking. Um so we're gonna start adding a little bit of that heavy cream in there. See. We're gonna just give this a stirry stir. We want this to reduce a little bit. Just gonna leave that lemon in there. We're actually gonna change spots. Let this go sit over there. Turn this. That's the back one. This is the front one. We're gonna turn that to low. Turn this up a little bit. We're gonna want to give that cast iron just a little bit more love, because the last thing we want is for our fish to really, really horribly stick. So there's that. Come over here. Where's my glove? Okay. So, and we do have to season our salmon. Hey, Viper. Welcome and Happy New Year to you. All right. So, what?
Nothing, you're moving back and forth.
Huh? Oh, I know. I'm just totally confusing you. Okay, so presentation side. Now, I like to have, whenever I'm doing any kind of a dish that's a little on the saucy side, kind of like this, what I'm doing is I want to give our salmon a whole lot of love. And a whole lot of love means a pretty hard sear, okay? So we want a pretty hard sear. So we're just going to let these get all nice and happy. We don't want to crowd the pan either. Okay, don't crowd the pan. All right, let me get this out of the way. Don't need this anymore. All right, give the not so pretty sides a little bit of salt too. All right, check out our sauce. Sauce is looking good. We're going to give it a splooch of Gourmet Garden Italian herb stirring paste. About a half of a teaspoon, maybe a whole teaspoon. Who knows? Now it's been sitting in there for long enough. Pop that out. The salmon does smell delightful though. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some grated Parmesan. About 2 handfuls. Maybe 3. Just going to let that do its thing for a little bit. Now this is about enough sauce that we need for our pasta. I'm going to throw my fishy spat. Fishy spat. Let's offset spat. Okay, maybe in the toolbox. Yes. Take a gander. Now, yeah, it's got a little ways to go. But about this time, we're going to want to start putting our pasta into the water. Don't just dump all of it in the water, or else you might end up, taking out your eye with boiling hot water. So, these ones came from Costco. Normally I would make them, I just didn't feel like it. When they start to float, that means that they're ready. So now we're going to come take a look at our salmon. This one looks like it's got some, wanting to have some pretty good color. So we're just going to rotate this one. You know, pan doesn't quite fit well on this stove. Take a looky. And like I said, don't crowd the pan. Ow. Oops. I didn't mean to do that yet. Okay. There we go. You know, we're starting to see some bubbling happening here on our sauce. Can we see the sauce very well? You can't really see the sauce very well, can we? Come here. In here.
You got a question.
Huh? You have a question? Tortellini, no, these are raviolis. They are Rana brand. They come from Costco, and they are truffle and cheese. I felt like going a little bougie with them. And for the most part, most of the time, the stuff that they have at Costco, their buyers are pretty damn good at picking stuff. And I saw those and I thought, you know what? Those actually do sound kind of good. We already got floating happening. These came out of the cooler case, not the freezer. I'm just going to agitate them just a little smidge. Maybe add just a little smidge more salt to the water. All right. So our fish, we're starting to see a lot of pink happening. Now, this is what I mean by a nice sear on your fish. You want that. You need that sear. The fish want to be seared. Oh, that one kind of sucks. So it doesn't really take that long to cook fish either, for that matter. So, but the sear here, that nice, beautiful golden color, that's the color that you want to see. Just gonna let it do its thing for another minute or two, and then transfer it over to a plate. Hold it until we're ready to assemble. Making a lot of noise here. Okay. Now, we can do, you take a little bit of that garlic and drop it on in there, carry it over. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of butter. And that fish. Probably just add the rest of this butter over here. Just to get it out of the way. I'm just gonna give it a little light base. The fish is just about done. Now I got some cold spots on this stove, so we didn't get as high of a sear that I wanted on these two pieces. Ow, that's hot. A little bit of garlic butter. That should be about it for that fish. So, oh, shit.
Tiger made a quick drop in.
Huh?
Tiger dropped in for a minute.
Hey, Tiger, Happy New Year. All right. So, I'm just going to set these aside. Now, when you're flipping your fish out or any kind of meat out off of a heat source like that, the side that was down last, flip it upside down. Ouch. Okay, just flip it upside down and let it rest that way. Okay, so the hottest side up. That way you don't have things going all sorts of cattywampus for you. All right, so now, let's see here. Let's grab the mitten. I'm just going to pop this into the oven real quick just to get it out of the way. I'll deal with that later. We're going to take our sauce and bring it back over here. Now, one of the things, there's a fine line. You don't want your sauce broken at all. So you want to make sure that, it's got some TLC. And now we're going to take the tomato and we're just going to add that to the sauce toward the finish. And let those little babies get happy for a few. Now with a fresh spoon, what we're going to do is we're going to check this out. Check and see how everything's going. See, I would forget till fungus took the skill. Oh, you don't like mushrooms, Gwen? Okay, so fresh spoon. We're going to just take it and we're going to just dip it right into the sauce. Give it a shaky shake. We're going to just take our finger and draw a line through it. Now, there's going to be a gap between the top half and the bottom half. Now, if it does not close that gap very, very quickly, that means pretty much your sauce is just about done. So let's do it again, one more time. Gives us an opportunity to tasty taste too. And it's almost there. Just going to let it. It definitely does need a little bit of salt. So we can balance it out with some salt. You can always add, but you can't subtract, right? Something that I always say. Add, but not subtract. So let's give these the last stirry stir. For the most part, these things are all floating, so that these babies are just about ready. Ready to rock and roll. We'll be able to fold those into the sauce here in just a moment. I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way over here because we're going to get to plating it here very shortly. We got our beautiful bowls right there. Scoot that out of the way. Yeah, I want to say that it just needs just a little smidge more salt. And I use kosher salt. Diamond brand is the best one, I think. Flaked salt, so good. All right. You know what? I think I'm going to add just a smidge more pepper too. You can kind of taste, you can kind of get that little scent of the nutmeg just on the finish. It just kind of adds a sweet warm spice scent to it. You shouldn't actually taste it all that much, but it's there, and it's just a friendly little whisper, you know. So there's that. Get rid of this. We're almost there. Yes, I stash all my stuff in the oven, like that. It's kind of funny in that regard. All right, so now we got a little bit more bubbling happening over here. Why did I get rid of that? Oh, that's right, because I needed a spoon. Let's see here. Okay. So now we'll just take our pasta. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pasta. We're going to let it strain just a little smidge. We're going to add it to our sauce. Stash that away. Now we're just going to give it a light toss so that they get introduced to the party or at the party. We don't have dishes full of wallflowers that just kind of sit in opposite corners and stare at each other, wanting to say something and feeling awkward. And this is how you make them not feel awkward. It's you introduce them all to each other a little bit at a time, and that way they'll get jiggy at some point in the evening. Jiggy in my belly. Woohoo! Look at that. All right, now we're going to come over here. We're going to just start spooning these over to our bowls. And we already have some of that salmon belly.
It needs to be centered in with the table for the.
Centered in, okay, Steven Spielberg.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, if it were up to me, I would just have nothing but like 10 times the mushrooms, personally. I'm really into mushrooms. All right. All right, we'll just set that aside for right now. All right. 4 cheese blend. Oh, this one hasn't been opened yet. Oh my God. Why? Okay. Stabby, stabby. Stabbity, stabbity. Sprinkly, sprinkly, sprinkly. Sprinkly, sprinkly, sprinkly. Because you don't want to sprinkle this on top of the fish. Because the fish is the star of the show. That's just, it's the sauce and the ravioli is just its trusty sidekick. Okay. Now why did I get rid of my fish spat? Oh, there it is. Okay. So now flip this over. That's the pretty one. That's a not so pretty one. So we'll set that right there. We're going to kind of crisscross because we want the pretty one to be on the very top. And like I said, you need some greens. This one's not so pretty. And there's this one right here. That's the really pretty one. Crisscross over the top. Crisscross applesauce. Put that over there. Oh my God. Now, if you want to finish your dish with a little bit of sauce, you want to tie the room together for the fish. Just take a little spoonful, right? Just drizzle just a little smidge off of a corner. Don't cover the fish with a whole bunch of stuff. Just like this, you want to just pile some of that on top. See? So you can still see the fish there. So you can say, oh, this is a fish dish. So there you have it. No, there's no rabbit food on this. All right. So, Munchie Mafia, that's it for tonight. We have a truffle and cheese ravioli with a sherry cream sauce and some pan-seared salmon, 2 kinds of mushrooms, and I think we're going to just go and eat this and watch some true crime and go pop on some New Year's festivities. We stay home because we just don't want to deal with the drunks out there. So here's a shot for you, shot
Deal
for
with the
me,
drunk at home.
and then maybe hopefully I'll actually keep it in my mouth and not out my nose like I did on the Off Topic Squirrel the other night. That was pretty bad. If you want to see it, go check out Off Topic Squirrel, the game night. I literally shot a whole shot out my nose, just about choked to death and died on live. Anyway, yeah, Greg saw it. Greg can attest. It was there. So happy 2025. I'm so glad that this dumpster fire is almost over. Yay. So good luck to you. Best wishes. Hope that you have a long life, a lot of happiness, and oh, that's lovely. And good health. So, Munchie Mafia, I'm going to take the shot, and then I'm going to show you the money shot here. Shots all around. Yay. Oh, yeah. All right. So, here we go. And there it is right there. So, Munchie Mafia, I hope you had a wonderful time. Come check us out tomorrow. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff throughout the day. So we'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget, cook with love, eat with passion. Good night, all.